Greetings, y'all. It's your knock, Peter Mata, and welcome back to another Golf Stories podcast. We're live on location.
We are here. We made it.
Derell, hello.
We made it.
The first time I'm really meeting Derell in person.
We made it.
This is insane, dude.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's awesome to have you. This is my place. I'm letting him stay for as long as he wants, really. And
kind gesture, everything.
Yeah,
first class.
Absolutely.
All
yeah.
good.
Even picked him up from the airport.
Did everything. Everything to this moment has been amazing. Thanks, bro.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's been a fun ride. It's been about a day in. We even had dinner with our boy Adam yesterday.
Adam, another MVP in my book.
Mm-hmm. We had a little Masters dinner. I think Hideki Matsuyama would have been jealous with the food that we got yesterday.
For sure.
Yeah, I indoctrinated Derell into the whole New Orleans, Louisiana experience. Because this week is the Zurich Classic of New Orleans, my home event, and I'm excited to go with it. But first, we're going to talk about, of course, the week that was the RBC Heritage the week before. Derell, I picked you up, and we were kind of watching it on the road, but did you catch any of the highlights or anything during the week?
I watched, during the week, I watched early, and then I watched on the plane whenever I could, and you saw a bunch of guys bunched up, and obviously when it dropped, it still was bunched up, and that's a tournament that I love going to, and tough that I wasn't there. At the end of the day, good finish. Jordan Speith, Patrick Cantlay, they've always been playing well. It's just a matter of time. Those good players just figure out a way to get it done.
Yeah, freaking Jordan Speith, man, he's back on it. His second straight year, he won it on the Easter Sunday. That's pretty incredible.
he's just solid. I mean, what is it? Win 13,
lucky number 13.
He's, even though the swings doesn't look as pleasing compared, I liked his other swing based on looks, but at the end of the day, it's what gets it done.
Yeah, he's doing that weird little, I don't even know,
whatever,
loop-de-doop and pull, but whatever works, man. It's pulling in the right direction. He was missing all sorts of putts. But he does what he does best as far as scrambling and everything like that. Obviously, up and downing in the playoff against Mr. Cantlay, who also played great. Second straight week with a University of Texas dude. I called it, except I picked the wrong University of Texas guy. But my other picks did pretty well. Top 10 for Tommy Fleetwood. And, Shane Lowry was right there, Derell.
I didn't want to say anything. I thought there was moments in time I'm like, he's getting it done. We're going to break what we've been struggling with. We'll have to wait another week.
We will have to wait another week. I mean, Shane Lowry's right there until he made that double. And he was still right there, but I mean, that double, he was right in control at that point in time. And he's been playing well. He's actually in the odds for the Zurich Classic, I think, favored pretty nicely. The CBS model likes them a lot, him and Ian Poulter. But yeah, man, Shane Lowry, shoot, man, I really thought he had it. Harold Varner III, 54-hole leader, HV3. Any word on that or any other contenders?
HV3, I definitely wanted to see him get it done. Yeah. Good dude. Always been, Class A dude every time I've talked to him. And again, definitely wanted to see him get it done. So many on that leaderboard, you never knew what was going to happen. So at the end of the day, you got to golf your ball. Hilton Head is it's a tough golf course. It's not very long. Brian Gay won by a lot when
double
he won.
Digits.
So, it's just great golf course, classic, old school.
Yeah. Good
place to be.
Yeah. There was a bunch later, I think Cam Davis shot a 63 on that final day.
Yeah.
One back. Van Rooyen was up there, sneaking his nose in there. Harold Varner III almost got in that first win. Every putt down the stretch looks good. It just didn't fall for him. There's just a number of guys. I think there was tied third. It was 7 players, which was just one shot out of the playoff. And like I said, obviously Patrick Cantlay. Hilton Head, man, that last hole, 2 premier players playing their best golf, and they come up short on the bunker. That's a classic hole. That's exactly what you're talking about as far as Harbor Town and trying to defend against the top players. I mean, right in the middle of the fairway and came and hit a green. So tough duty for them. Congratulations to Jordan Spieth, even with missing all those short little putts, man. His wife said something amazing in between rounds. Told him, just wait 5 seconds before you tap it in. And actually, I had a first tee clinic today, and I was telling the kids that, like, don't take little things for granted. And I told that exact tip to them: wait 5 seconds. It's very small, but hey, they can help. They obviously help Jordan Spieth. But any last comments on RBC Heritage?
They put on a great event, RBC, and I mean, they say, I watched the telecast, like, because it used to be the Verizon Heritage, and they're looking for a new sponsor, and RBC took over. Definitely has been a great sponsor, even from a caddy perspective. Going there, like, it's always just been pleasant. Food's been great. Like, they take care of us. Like, so those little type of things, like, it goes to show they're doing great things. Because if they're taking care of us, how much more everyone across the board.
Yeah, absolutely. I always get that. I've never been there, but I always get that feeling of it's just a nice, cozy southern town, like a nice little warm blanket over there. But yeah, that was the RBC Heritage. We'll flip the page. Obviously, I don't do the live on location type of thing because we're, here, together. But just imagine I'm changing the screen from the lighthouse to a gator or something.
And that's the line off the tee, is that lighthouse. That's the beauty of that lighthouse is, hey, where do you want to hit it? At the lighthouse. Yeah. One of the easiest holes to caddy for the tee shot. Where do I hit it? Lighthouse.
That's interesting because Nick Cotto was saying on the telecast, this is a wide open tee shot. It's like
wide open tee shot.
A regular average player would be looking at the water, only thing but the water, no. So we're gonna flip the page from that lighthouse to just imagine, like I said, a gator or the 18th hole at TPC Louisiana. It's this week. It's my home event. I played TPC Louisiana a number of times, probably, a couple dozen times, and mostly tournament golf and other little events. I don't always get to play it in good conditions, Derell, but it's awesome to it's awesome to have a tour event in New Orleans and in Louisiana in general. What can you tell me about TPC Louisiana? 7,400 yards. It's harder than people would imagine, actually.
There's gators on the golf course, so watch out for that. First off, it's this year's looking a little bit different. With the hurricane and all that stuff, there's been a lot of trees taken out. One of the most popular one is on hole number 11. Yeah. That tree is taken out, which, like I said, it's in the way, in a good and bad way. You need to be more strategic and actually execute a shot. So that tree's out of there. And again, a lot of the trees, it looks a little bit different. So when you see it this week, you'll see like some of the changes, and it's in great shape. I think from a greens perspective, it's the best that I've seen it. This is my fourth Zurich Classic, and I think the greens is the best I've seen it. So let's put it that way.
Wow. And I know you were kind of telling me that sometimes TPC Louisiana, as far as the standards with tour, sometimes it is a touch shabby.
Yes.
Which I can admit too. I could tell just from TV and my experience there. That's good to hear.
And talking to the guys that are there, I guess they've had a great lately from a weather perspective. It's been great. So they've been able to take care of it. And again, like even on a Monday today, we played the Pro-Am today. Caddying this week for DA points for, we're paired with Scott Jacetsky, if you guys didn't know. Yeah. So we played Pro-Am today. And again, for a Monday, the course was already looking, flush. So they're slow playing it a little bit because they don't want to lose it by the time, the weekend comes. But for a Monday, it's the best I've seen it. The greens are already nice. So definitely looking forward to this week. And the weather, based on looking at the weather, it's looking nice today.
For once. Yeah.
Today it was a north wind, which is odd because it's normally in the southeast type of. So we, even though we played the Pro-Am and it was a north wind, fairly strong, we still kind of played how we would play, during the tournament with that southeast type of wind.
Yeah. I mean, I saw on your story you posted that you were there, and it did look very lush and green, very juicy. Yeah. More so than I've ever really seen it. And the weather has been nice and like dry. And I think that's really why I would say probably the problem with TPC Louisiana, just because the climate here is just
the
so
inconsistency
harsh.
of it all.
we get so much harsh rain. And actually, blessing in disguise, the trees are gone because of Hurricane Ida, I guess. But yeah, that's surprising. I actually just heard, that's breaking news to me, that the tree on 11, that's a distinct tree for that hole.
It is a distinct tree.
Yeah. I'm sure some pros are actually not going to miss that. But
Right, it's fairly go at it now.
Yeah. All things go.
Yeah.
So that's going to help the golf course. I always say that it's kind of a zooped up version of the TPC Sawgrass. Obviously, it doesn't have the distinct nature of the Island Green and the prestige of the players, but it's obviously a TPC course. Some Pete Dye influence. Steve Elkington, Kelly Gibson, shout out, are the ones who helped design it. I've played there a number of times. I'm actually going to be volunteering this week. I'm going to be on ShotLink, baby.
There we go.
Greenside 3, Thursday and Friday. So if you're out there, feel free to give me a shout. I'll probably be focusing, as it is actual work, volunteering. Derell, what can you tell me about like the ShotLink things and maybe what caddies and players use it for?
So the green side, it's just definitely not as, it's definitely used more for a stats perspective. So it marks up all the stats, but definitely like the tee shots and the approach, caddies definitely will check. Again, we know it's not 100% accurate. Let's say if somebody hits one wayward, we definitely like to check our, check our numbers to see if we're pretty close, or, say if there's a cover, that we didn't get or that we thought was right or wrong. We definitely check, ShotLink for all that stuff. So it's definitely been a game changer, because I know like working on the Corn Ferry doesn't have that, doesn't show like, 150 to the flag. So it definitely on the PGA Tour, that's a perk for us caddies, to where we can kind of take a peek on, how we played things and, stuff like that. Game plan, like, did we really lay up to, this or that? So it's nice. It's nice. Yeah. It's, again, a great thing that they do for us.
Yeah, it's an undertaking for sure. I mean, let me tell you, since I am volunteering, like we do meetings beforehand, we have trainings, on the site trainings, and it's like there's hundreds of volunteers. That's just ShotLink, by the way, and that's over 5 days, including Wednesday. And also, you also have like standard barriers. You have just a bunch of marshals, spotters,
walking
scores. I mean, there's just so many volunteers on the PGA Tour. You wouldn't believe it. So I would definitely encourage any of y'all who are just interested in that experience. It's something else. I mean, you actually, for instance, we actually had to pay like $50. You get a shirt, you get a hat, but you also get like free food because you're going to be working the event and everything like that. It's just such an interesting experience. You feel like you're definitely a part of the tournament more so than anything. Plus, you're obviously watching golf. It's not all bad. I'm not making it out that you're working hard and not getting any pleasure, but you're actually seeing the best up close and personal. And I will say for ShotLink, the duties that goes with it, I can admit it's not, and especially inside that 10 feet range, because you're using like a tablet. It's quite difficult to know exactly where the players are on the green. So maybe y'all's stats on the inside 10 feet, just by the way, might be a little janky. But I mean, usually pros are pretty automatic there anyway.
Again, I think volunteers are definitely underappreciated, because especially on the PGA Tour, I don't think they'll say it, but events won't go on without, volunteers. Because like they tried it during COVID, like quote unquote, there was volunteers, but you never would have realized there were volunteers. It just wasn't as shown, so during COVID there was volunteers. And so, they saw how short staffed it was, and, at that time. So definitely to make it pleasing and ran, for it to be run efficiently, you need the volunteers. Like it's not even like, you need them.
Like legitimately, yeah. Like what you just said, like these events can't go on without any volunteer help. I mean, I cannot overstate how much that they put in for us, and how much training and everything is such an undertaking. It's really cool though. Like I said, like definitely do so if you could, just to get that experience. Volunteering, baby, yeah. TPC Louisiana. Team event. What's your thoughts on team event action?
It's definitely, the best ball even though the best ball is team, but it's not really team because you're just kind of going about your business. The alternate shot really is the tough part. It stands out the most, when guys play different golf balls, so they react, their swings and how they compress golf balls are different. So you need to kind of figure out that, and also make sure you commit to, both, instead of like you miss a shot and be like, oh, if that was my golf ball. So that aspect is going to be tough. And so you just kind of have to make the best of it. And again, you decide, are you going to be on teeing off on evens or odds? So one thing that stands out is 3 out of the 4 par 5s, or 3 of the 4 par 4s, are odds. So, you got to figure out who likes hitting those par 3s more. So there's a lot that goes into it. What's nice for me is the players that the team that I'm with, they're going to decide on all that. Like, they're not going to ask any input from, the caddy team between. So, which is nice. So I'm out of it. But when it comes to, making decisions, otherwise I'm still back in it. The only thing I'm not deciding is they're going to decide on the golf ball, and they're going to decide on what holes they tee off on.
You're not exactly like, are you comparing yardages with the other caddy or anything like that?
No, at the end of the day, like, so this is my 4th time doing it. Based on what I've learned is, even an alternate shot, you let every team do it on their own.
On their own thing.
Yeah. The only time if a team is going to sort of help is if your player is putting and he wants another read from his teammate. But for the most part, as a team, you kind of trust what they're doing. You came to this team, to have trust in each other. So you can't, even if you see like they're aimed wrong or whatever, unless they ask you, you kind of let them
You let them go. Yeah. I mean, they are pros after all. So they're going to handle their own business. Yeah. I at first, when they said it was going to be a team event, I was like, I don't know about this. This tournament's already struggling as is, but seeing that the players enjoy it seemingly, and it brings in the top field. Let me tell you guys, in 2010, this thing was I would say a Corn Ferry Tour event. I mean, excuse my language, but I mean, it really was. Like, we had like one player in the top 50 come here, and I said it during the Valero. I know I read a ranking of the courses on tour, and the Zurich and the Valero one was like bottom 2. So this team aspect has really changed this whole aspect of this tournament, and I'm happy for it. I've actually enjoyed it. It's definitely a shakeup in the schedule. You had the match play a few weeks ago. Now you get a little team event action. You need that type of thing to keep it fresh. So I guess we'll get into the picks. I know, Derell, you're not going to be
picks this week. No picks again. If you somehow overlooked, I'm with the 8 points this week. Chris Stroud currently is out for about 5-6 weeks. So we'll see how that shakes up. But in the meantime, just kind of whenever I get a chance to work and caddy, I'm all about it. So this week, DA asked me, and we've worked together before, and here we are. And like I said, I think the easiest thing was Peter was here. We wanted to do this show. The things you do for the show.
Yeah, you have to, for the show, for the pod.
I made it happen.
Yeah,
but
he
Peter
came down for just the pod.
I mean, give credit to Peter. He's doing way over more than he should, and he's been great. So
it's my pleasure.
Yep, sir. Amazing. Let's get this picks going.
Yeah. So just by the way, for your boys, if anyone wants to know, I think they're like 150 to 1.
What is it? Oh, we're towards the
bottom of the
dark horse,
super dark horse. So put your bottom dollar in Scott Gutschewski and DA points.
DA points.
Yeah, come on. What is it? It's 80 teams, top 33 get into the cut. So cheering for them, of course. My dark horse pick, I'm eyeing this little crew right here, Derell. This little Charlie Hoffman, Nick Watney action. I believe Watney also lives in Las Vegas, I want to say.
He lives in Austin now.
Okay.
He used to live in Vegas. I know Nick Watney.
Yeah.
He's kind of he was a little bit of a childhood hero of mine.
Wow.
He's definitely one of the, California guy, Fresno State, and
True. Yeah.
I joke with him all the time. I'm like, Nick, you were my hero. And he's like, D, he thinks I'm joking. It's funny because he thinks I'm joking and I'm low key not. Like there was it was the week of, I think it was either the week of Detroit or Minnesota. And I had a Facebook post from like whenever he won in that realm. And it was like, Nick Watney won. What an amazing guy. Whatever. Like I made some post on Facebook when I was in college. And because I know Nick, I said, Nick, come here. I got to show you something. So I showed him, I'm like, look at the post I was posting about you, man. And he's like, get out of here. And then just kind of just shrugged it off. But yeah, I showed him a post, Nick Watt. I think the one that he won was the Quicken Loans.
Quicken Loans? Let me think.
Did he win that one?
He might. Yeah, no, he won. I know he won Tiger Sherman back in 2011.
Yeah. And I think, you're right. I think it was 2011. I made that post.
Yeah.
And I showed Nick Watney. So good choice. Good choice. I mean, based on years past, their walk-up song is California Love.
Ooh,
because they're both California people.
Cali. Yeah. Chucky Hoffman, Nick Watney, one of the nicest people I've heard. And on tour. 150-1. That's pretty stout. I mean, for a dark horse, man. Charlie Hoffman, that typically actually plays this. My dad loves watching Charlie Hoffman. He really is a big Charlie Hoffman believer because he thinks he has just the most amazing talent. Just hasn't really delivered as many of the wins as possible, but really is a talented ball striker and player in general. Usually puts himself up there, and especially here. And Nick Watney, of course, first PGA Tour event was on TPC Louisiana, back when he was wearing the vintage Virginia Tech Titleist hat, way back then. But yeah, 150-1, and Nick Watney's got a second place this season. I think I'll take that. Yes, please, thank you. So that's my dark horse pick. As far as contender, I'm going to change it up a little bit. I know we usually have like it going in order as far as like the odds, like contenders usually worse odds than our winner. But I'm going to switch it up. The favorite for this week is Mr. Victor Hovland and Colin Morikawa, as you do.
Hard not to.
Top 5 players in the world. Young studs my age out there just whipping on them boys. Plus 700 was at 7-1. Shoot. I'm going to go with them as my contender pick. So I'm not quite as confident of actually getting the W. Interesting, last year, Louis Oosthuizen and Charles Schwartzel came in second. Louis Oosthuizen hasn't won in the U.S. Interesting enough, despite having a major and despite contending so much, hasn't won the U.S. Victor Hovland, for as good as he is, technically hasn't won in the U.S. He's won twice in Mexico, PGA Tour events, Puerto Rico. Yeah. Maricopa twice in Puerto Rico. The PGA Tour events. I mean, I'm not slouching on that. And obviously a few DP World Tour events, but hasn't won in the U.S. So I'm kind of going with that sort of voodoo vibe. It is New Orleans after all. So I'm going to go with them. I'm not quite as confident. I mean, I'm still picking them as a contender. And obviously Morikawa, Zurich sponsorship. I don't know. I think can play anywhere. Kind of got dragged down by old Matt Wolff last year. Unfortunately, Matty Wolff doesn't look like he's in the field, so
I don't think he's in the field this week. Yeah,
couldn't find a partner after Morikawa turned him down this week. But I like this pairing as my contender pick. Any thoughts on that? I know not picking, but
I mean that's
studs,
elite.
Yeah, I mean they're beasts. So it's kind of an obvious pick. They're the favorites. So for my winner pick, I'm going to go with a little Chilean flavor, a little Joaquin Niemann, Mito Pereira, 25-1. The dub. I'm feeling more confident in them. I'm feeling their Chilean vibe together.
Mm-hmm.
Niemann's playing well, obviously. Pereira was the Korn Ferry Tour Player of the Year. I think he won 3 times last year.
Yep. Yeah, the Battlefield promotion,
which is rare. Finally got his he got his feet wet early in this year, and kind of like, okay, now I'm ready. I've got my bud next to me. We're in New Orleans, which has got a little international flavor in general. I like it. I think that's gonna be my winner pick. I don't know what else to say on that. What do you think about those two players?
I mean, what I think first off that comes to mind is they're both Team Ping. So
Shout out Adam. Hey.
Shout out Adam. even when Adam's not on, we're still shouting him out.
Yeah,
but no, that's just ball striking.
Mhm.
Both of them. They're just unreal. Like their moves are very nice, and again, great pick.
Yeah, 25-1. I think that's solid odds. It's not
Very
like
solid odds.
They're not like they're out of the realm for that. Really great field. Like I said, changing from the team event to I mean, we've got, Schauffele and Cantlay is an interesting pairing. Sam Burns, of course, my boy, Billy Horschel, Shane Lowry, and Ian Poulter. Yeah, I mean, this is a stout field. I'm excited to get out there and watch it. As far as some of the fun things they do, I know they do a little walk-up song action. Only for the weekends, though.
Only for the weekend now. The first time I was here in 2017.
For everyone.
But I think it just took too much time.
Yeah.
The play got delayed, and they just moved it to the weekend.
Yeah.
And same thing, early 2017 was the first time they did the team event. And even us pros, I mean, not me. When I was around the pros, sorry, excuse me.
You're good.
I'm still,
you're pro.
I'm a glorified amateur. Yikes. So even when they were talking about it, they were still unsure.
Mm-hmm.
So I think being from 2017 and now, I think it's been going well. That's why they've kept going on. Because I think the one thing the PGA Tour does is, like, if it's not going well, if it's not anyone's cup of tea, they'll cut it.
Yeah.
And so I think, based on what I just in general know, just without even knowing any stats or anything, I think this is the best field it's been from a team event.
Yeah,
that's just
absolutely.
my 2 cents. Like, again, we haven't talked about this, and I think you just looked over it, but Scotty Scheffler's in the field.
Oh,
so I mean, like, not saying I'm giving you hints, advice. It's with the way he's.
How could I miss that? My goodness.
Again, he could basically go do it by himself.
Yeah, snagged him one of these while he was at it. 4 out of 6.
So,
gosh, dog, man, 11-1. Ryan Palmer just seemingly always gets number one players with his partners.
Right there must be there's a mystery to Ryan Palmer. I think he must be a likable guy, or he has blackmail on these guys.
Yeah.
One of the two.
He's like, keep me on tour, baby.
He's the bone is there. I'm getting thrown that bone. But I don't think he's getting thrown that bone because, like I said, he's a great player in his own right. So great ball striker. So again, but yeah, that was a team that I definitely took a peek at.
Yeah, man, 4 out of 6, maybe 5 out of 7 after this week. Yeah, no, Ryan Palmer actually, fun fact, I'm like, he was one of the first few players I followed back in like the 07 Zurich, and he signed my autograph. How about that? And I followed him ever since. And he's always been like a solid player. Good. He's a grizzled vet, as you would describe now. And yeah, pretty likable guy, I'd say. And he had Speith the first year here as a team. He had Rahm, of course, they won. Now he's got Scheffler, just getting his number one picks. He's hitting the draft lottery, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, no, that's a good mention. Gosh, how about this? Since we're on the topic of music, what would your song choice be?
I mean, it's been played. I like country a lot. I definitely, since we're in the area, obviously it depends on my partner, but it'd definitely be Colin Baton Rouge.
Oh, I like it.
So I know the 1 year, Steven Yeager and JT Poston played that song, and JT Poston's caddy sang.
Really?
Colin Baton Rouge in the little intro, and he actually did. It's up somewhere on the internet, and so, like I said, just the Louisiana vibe.
Yeah.
So
Isn't JT Poston from Alabama?
No, he's from North Carolina.
North Carolina.
His caddy.
Yeah.
Okay. His caddy was the one who sang the.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. So
like Garth Brooks, baby.
Yep.
That country love. I know this isn't music match play, but country love, baby.
Yeah.
Getting some on some Golf Stories podcast. Yeah, that's one thing I will say when they do play the music. I wish they kind of adjust it. It's kind of little weird how they do it.
Yeah, it's not.
They should like
There's
announce
still-
the names and then play the song as they're like coming out.
Right.
Instead
It's not, perfect by all means, but
Yeah.
it's just, it's hard to transition that
to golf.
to golf. Again, what the Phoenix Open does a great job in transitioning something different.
Yeah.
And so they've definitely, have it down. Zurich is in that realm, is still working at it.
It's just like calling out the starters in basketball, like at guard. I mean,
Right.
come on now, it shouldn't be that hard. PGA Tour. It's one thing I fix. I do love the idea of them. My song.
Yeah, what are we going with?
I might go Black Eyed Peas. Let's get started. I
Yeah.
might go with NMN, little Till I Collapse. Just get me really pumped before the round and get the crowd pumping. I think that's my
That's your vibe. Yeah.
I would go hard in the paint with that. Get everyone cranked up, get them crunked up. I don't know. Maybe if it's maybe some stand up and get crunk. That people down here obviously love that because of the Saints tied in. So maybe do that little flavor with also the Columbine Rouge type of thing. So there's all sorts of options. I don't know. I'll probably go with the NMN at the end of the day. I think that's got more general audience love. So yeah, I think that would be my pick. Fun thing that they do there. Absolutely.
Awesome.
Fun tournament. Any stories that you can think of from this event? This is a story that's happening right now. This is what you tell your grandchildren.
This is my fourth time here, and it's been good to me here. So, I definitely, like being here. I definitely could have turned down not coming here. So for me to be here, it goes to show like this event is a good event, and the food here is just amazing. I think I'm a food guy in general, so the food was just auto for me to just come.
Yes. Indeed.
On top of getting caddy on the PGA Tour, I'll take that as well.
It got you that char grilled oysters.
Yeah,
I know.
The welcoming.
Yeah, the little welcoming. Shout out Superior Seafood, and I know, dude, they just like lay out a whole buffet of that on the course. Was that out there today?
It was definitely out there today. I didn't really eat anything on the course. Yeah. I had a little Waffle House. We don't have Waffle House in California, so I had a little Waffle House for a little, light breakfast.
Yeah, when in Rome.
And then, just again, they're gonna have it every day, so I'll probably get after it tomorrow.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, that's good stuff, man. As far as let's talk about as far as the course, and I know we talked about this maybe off the record in terms of like City Park is a course that they were eyeing before. I'm just generally curious about like the pros' take on this course and event, because I'd be the first to admit that the course isn't like any other in the tour, the layout or anything like that.
The layout's fine. There's no. I'm not really. The layout hasn't been really. They could have talked without me, but in my eyes, you typically hear, guys talk about the course like bad or good, and they've never said anything about the layout. It's always just been course conditions. So, and again, I think a lot of it, knowing what I know, it's not because of the maintenance aren't doing what they're supposed to do. It's just the weather is just
harsh conditions.
Yeah, the inconsistency of the weather. So, no, they've never. The layout hasn't been. Again, is it? One tee shot that comes out to mind is 6 is a hard tee shot.
Yeah,
6 is. So there's definitely some hard holes out there. It's not just a birdie fest.
Yeah.
So and you gotta the run outs again if the wind gets pumping. So it's still a good test in my book.
No. Okay.
So like I said, the layout I've never personally heard, because if I did, I'd say
it would be obvious. Yeah.
It'd be very obvious.
Yeah. No, look, I play the course. It's very a challenging test.
Yeah.
Like it's not any slouch. I think some of the complaints is like you have the same shot on 9 and 17. Those are still tough shots. I don't really know what you want from there.
Right.
We talked about this, how 16 could be a little bit more drivable, like the Travelers. If they opened up some trees on the right, it really could be just the same. And it's a fun drivable hole.
Yeah.
Everyone loves drivable par fours and, the risk reward that comes with that. Yeah. I think also just the location of it. It is in the middle of the swamp.
Yeah, it's not.
That's
it's
not the ideal part for
yeah.
sure. With conditions, one, and then also just like fan engagement with the city and everything. Like if it was at City Park, that'd be completely ideal. But I will say, and this is just hot take, my take, that the City Park course just isn't quite up to standard as far as layout. I think it's a little too easy unless they grew it out like the rough, like East Lake or something. I just think it would be a little too easy for the pros. But that's just my take. So don't run with that to the presses or anything like that. But it's just interesting. It's always comes up for this tournament as far as like it feels like a sleepy tournament or anything like that. And they've tried so many things, but the pros like it. Derell is telling me the pros like it.
No.
It's a challenge, fair challenge.
Again, the field. This is the best field it's been in my eyes. So again, this would be a great opportunity for guys to take weeks off. You know, Xander and Cantley and those guys. Obviously, you know, looking at when push comes to shove, like the Zurich guys have to play. You know, if you're sponsored by Zurich, but as far as I know, Scotty Scheffler isn't. You know, Xander and Cantley isn't, as far as I know. Hovland is maybe. I know Morikawa
is for sure.
I know Morikawa is for sure. But that being said, he was able to, you know, Morikawa was able to, you know, persuade Hovland. Like I said, those guys are playing top events. Like this is a great week for them to take off.
Yeah, no, it could
you know,
be,
and so especially like a 2-week break, technically they'd take this week off and then not go to Mexico. You know, so it'd be a good 2-week. But for them to keep going, it says a lot.
Yeah, exactly. And I think like you were saying to me, Alfred, it's like it's coming from the Masters and the Heritage, which those conditions are just absolutely immaculate most of the time. And then, you know, you get like a sloppy rain here. Yeah, it affects the course conditions heavily. So yeah, I'm trying to just address the elephant in the room as far as for the TPC Louisiana. I know it's talked about a lot, but I'm telling y'all that the pros like it, and I'm really glad they changed it to a team event to attract the players here. But yeah, it's my home event, baby. I'm excited. Any last things, Derell?
I'm excited as well. Like I said, good to be here. The weather looks to be amazing. Today was amazing. So the first day out there for me, my guy, it was good. So yeah, we're looking forward to it.
Let's go to points and Scott Gutkowski. I can't get his
name.
Yeah, Scotty G, baby. You know, it's been a good time for Scotty's, you know, in golf. So maybe y'all got the magic.
Yep.
So yeah, exciting week. Happy to have you here, Derell, man. Happy to have you.
Perfect, dude.
Yeah, absolutely. This has been magic.
No, it's been magic on my end as well.
Yeah. So, you know what to do, y'all. Like, subscribe, comment below. Let me know who's your picks. Let us know what your song choice would be on the first tee. Get us hyped up. You know what to do. You know, your words mean something to us. Yeah.